Hi, this is Craig Resnick coming to you from the 2017 ARC Advisory Group Forum in Orlando, Florida. With me today is my special guest, Dubi Margalit, who's the General Manager of IoT Factory Solutions for Telit. How are you doing today, Dubi?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me.
Okay, great. We're glad you're here. You know, this year, certainly a lot of buzz about IoT, certainly as you've seen at the forum. So tell us your perspective on IoT and what are some of Telit's initiatives in the world of industrial Internet of Things?
That's a great question. And you know, Telit has a unique standpoint in the marketplace in the fact that we're a pure play IoT provider. You know, we live and die by IoT. We wake up every morning thinking about IoT. And we've seen overwhelming interest during 2016 from both existing and new customers. We had people approach us with a lot of new great ideas, new concepts, and naturally a lot of new challenges around those innovations. The common denominator around most of those challenges was about asset connectivity. And this is something that we solve through our device-wise software platform, which eliminates the challenge of connecting both to industrial assets and not only modern assets, which connectivity is a simple solution, but also 20, 30 years old, different type of equipment. So, you know, and you asked me about some of the things we've done. I'll try to give you a few common themes around projects that we've done. I'll take an example. A lot of our customers are implementing real-time visualization around manufacturing, like OEE solutions. One example would be a tier one automotive manufacturer that through hardware solution and software solution, we were able to visualize a 30 years old production floor equipment that after analyzing the data, they were able to eliminate a third shift. So you can imagine the cost savings around that. Another common theme we've seen was automating preventive maintenance cycles. Certain tools would require calibrating every certain amount of hours. How can you automate a process? And we had a German OEM manufacturer come to us wanting to automate the calibration cycles after torque tools, the nut runners in the line. So our device-wise platform not only connects to the tool, but also seamlessly connect to SAP PM. So defining that process was a fairly simple task. So I think the main point to highlight around those solutions is since we eliminate the device connectivity and we eliminate the enterprise connectivity without writing a single piece of custom code, the business logic behind it takes hours to days to implement. So all the solutions I just mentioned were implemented within a day and were up and running fairly quickly.
Well, it sounds like you've been solving a lot of manufacturing challenges. So name me a couple of manufacturing challenges you see in 2017 going forward.
It's a great topic, and I think if I look at the amount of innovation we're seeing out there, the challenges is going to be agility and velocity. You know, people have so many ideas, but we're running manufacturing with a skeleton crew of automation people and a skeleton crew on the IT side that are tasked with keeping everything up and running. So how can you try and error a lot of new ideas without investing a huge amount of capital and resources into implementing them? And that's the value we bring around device-wise, is that we allow people to innovate very quickly and see if the idea works or doesn't. And as I mentioned before, it takes a few hours to a few days to implement a complete solution.
Yeah. You know, one thing, obviously, as a sponsor of this forum, you see that many of the sponsors of this forum are also cybersecurity companies, so there's no shortage of interest in cybersecurity. What kind of products and solutions is Telit bringing to the table regarding cybersecurity, and what are some of the trends that you're seeing in that regard?
That's a great topic, and I'm glad you brought it up. It's as you know, through our SecureWise line of business, we've been providing remote connectivity, secure remote connectivity for the semiconductor industry for the last 12 years. And as you well know, semiconductor is probably the most information-sensitive industry after the government and utilities. So we're in a place today that we're connecting about 95% of the 300 millimeter fabs and connecting assets, remote connectivity for assets at the tune of over $200 billion worth of assets. So taking that line of business and our device-wise, which sits in the junction of information between IT and OT, we're enabling a more holistic view at security. So how do you facilitate access through type of a private cloud infrastructure, a very airtight gateway that provides air-gapped remote access, but then augmenting it with manufacturing process information. So now we're manufacturing aware, we can block remote access when the line is running. So end-to-end complete security or remote access approach.
Okay. Another very common theme at the forum this year is the whole issue of downtime and unscheduled downtime, multiple sessions at this forum on unscheduled downtime. So it's kind of like, what types of products and solutions does Telit bring to the table regarding helping their customers to avoid their number one nemesis, which is unscheduled downtime?
So I think if you look at unscheduled downtime, it's because of unexpected failure of something in the line. And at the end of the day, it all boils down to data. Since we pulled real-time manufacturing data, we're sitting again in the junction of that information. And I touched before about people tightening up their preventive maintenance cycles. So we allow them to be more in tune with manufacturer recommendation cycles from that perspective. We're also seeing early stage implementation of preventive maintenance cycle, and we've been working with partners from smaller companies all the way to the big IT players in feeding them with a tremendous amount of raw data, raw sensorial data, because we give them the flexibility to pick and choose which data tags they're looking at and which frequency they want to sample them. So overall, we're seeing a lot of effort implemented in trying to predict failure as well as to prevent failure.
Okay. And last question, I think another common theme of the forum is a lot of companies, I'd say, are living at the edge right now. So how is Telit, what does Telit bring to the table regarding edge solutions, especially in the world of IoT?
So if I look at, I think edge is what differentiates industrial IoT from regular or I'd say more general IoT, is about you're watching, you're monitoring high-value capital assets. You're watching assets that are mission critical. You need the ability to have more compute abilities closer to the asset. In the event your backhaul or your data to your cloud is not reliable or may drop, you still need to have functionality running. And let's take an example of a machine builder that wants to monitor an asset at the field. So he will start and probably sample a few vital signs and broadcast them back on a daily basis. But when a failure happens, he now needs to start playing around. He might want to start looking at other variables, but he doesn't have time to start writing code to look at different variables. He may want to change the frequency sample. Once a day is not enough. I need to look at every 50 milliseconds what's happening there. He want to, in a very extreme scenario, may want to tunnel into the device and reprogram the PLC, right? So, and all of that happens now. If you're using cellular backhaul, you may need to also fine-tune your data plans around that. So ideally, I want to do everything from a single pane of glass. And it may sound a little bit futuristic, but this is what we've taken our device-wise or our 30 years of shop floor to top floor experience and create a more holistic approach around that we're able to condense our sets of drivers and libraries, put in a very light gateway, so your edge could be as small as an elevator or a generator or a machine that's deployed in the field. And then we augment that with a very comprehensive cloud platform that allows you to leverage all the skills around, not writing code, providing a very simple drag and drop type of flowchart GUI to implement your business logic, and the ability to push it across the board. So our customers, again, can focus on the business logic, the things they want to monitor, and less about the connectivity or how do you interact with your surroundings.
That's great, Dubi. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you so much.
And again, this is Craig Resnick coming to you from the 2017 ARC Advisory Group Orlando Forum. Thanks. Have a great day.